We all have jobs that we keep putting off because we don't fancy doing them. However, the time eventually comes round and we have to face the music and face up to it. The one job that I've not been looking forward to is digging up potatoes. I've got 3 beds here altogether. You may recall I covered these early summer. Underneath that cover there is 4 rows of Shallots, second earlies, and they actually got planted the 23rd of April. So these have been in the ground a good 7 months. Time to have a look what we got. With that all cleared, you can see that the black polythene has done its job. The stuff you can see on the surface is the straw that was in the horse manure that I put in the beds in the valleys of the potatoes. So let's get the fork out and have a look what we've got. I really do hope we get something out of the ground here, because these potatoes, the Shallots, are my favourite potatoes of all time. So say 7 months in the ground. Let's have a look what we've got. I must say I'm very, very pleased with this result. This is just off the first tuber that I've dug up, and as you can see, fairly decent crop. As usual, a couple of casualties where the fork has gone through. There's a little bit of scab on, but nothing to worry about much. And this is, as you say, this is where the first one's come out. All that's come out of there. Hopefully I've got another 23 plants as good as this. Well, I'll bore you with it all, but it does make it easier digging them. That's the first row done in. This is a 30-litre bucket, and I've got to say I'm very happy with this. I've got another 3 more rows in this bed to dig up of these, and say next year I've decided I'm going to grow the potatoes first, second earlies and half the main crop in buckets, because I really dislike digging up, and the number of potatoes that I've wrecked putting the tine of the fork through, it's just not worth it for me. So next year these are going to be in buckets, but it'll be interesting to see the quantity of potatoes that I harvest out of there as against to what I've had out the ground so far. This is the harvest so far from 2 rows out the bed. There's still another 2 rows to go now. The light's fading a bit, so I'm going to call it a day today. My back's aching a little bit, and before I finish the bed though, what I'm going to do is put the cover back on again, because the next day or 2 I think we've got rain forecast, and I'd rather keep the soil a bit on the dry side for when I do harvest the remaining couple of rows. You may remember a few episodes back that we had 3 or 4 nights of really bad frost here, and the temperatures dropped to -2, -3, result of which the potatoes I put in these buckets for Christmas got caught, and within 2 or 3 days the foliage had gone right the way down, flat and gone. Now they're still in the greenhouse down the bottom of the allotment. There's about 5 or 6 buckets in there. So I'm just about to have a little clear out in the greenhouse, and rather than waste the soil, I thought I'd top up these carrot boxes here with the soil. So I fetched a bucket out, tipped it in there, and I had a nice little surprise. That's what come out the bucket. These are the Jersey Royals, the international kidney potatoes, and I really didn't expect anything out of this. So there's another 5 or 6 in the allotment greenhouse, so I'm tempted to just leave them in and harvest them before Christmas, because 5 or 6 of these, and that'll be more than enough what we need. There's an absolutely biting cold wind coming across the allotment this morning, so what I've decided to do is spend 30 minutes or so in the greenhouse having a little tidy up. These here are what's left of the Christmas potatoes, but after that surprising reveal we saw earlier, I've decided these are going to stay in, and I'll unearth them around about Christmas Day. This side we got, that's the tub still left from the peppers. I'm keeping that soil, reuse that on something else. What I've done, I've also bought me Wiggly Wiggler's worm bin into here. I'm just starting to feed that now, and you may remember from a video or 2 back I've got that carpet insulation. Got a bit more left, and I'm going to be wrapping that in there. It'll give me a bit of extra more protection. That's the Wiggly Wiggler worm bin, all wrapped up and insulated for the cold weather. I've fed them, I've put food in up 2 top trays, so that should keep them going for a few weeks. I folded the top over so I can still get access without unwrapping it all. That's just a tub on top with water in to add it a bit of weight. I have left a little gap at the bottom to give a bit of airflow so that it's not stifled. In the meantime, not so good outside, hammering down with rain, so I think that's it for the allotment today. To finish this one off, I'm going to be planting these, and these are golden gourmet shallots. I picked these up at Malvern Autumn Festival as part of a package from one of the seed companies. Usual rules with these, I've had a little sift through, removed any flaky skins and that, and I always crop the tops off with scissors, but there's no need to. Like with most onions, it's traditionally plant on the shortest day. We've 3 weeks before that 21st of December, I think it is, and harvest around the longest day in June, or maybe just after. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start these off in cell trays rather than planting to the ground. Normally I do my shallots in probably March, April into the ground, but I thought to give these a try, something a bit different. Start them off, overwinter them into cell trays, and then plant them out later on. Now shallots, if you haven't grown them before, are a really good rewarding crop, because of the likes of one bulb like that, you can actually, it splits, and you can get 5, 6 even, so it's like 6 to 1 return, which is fantastic. This variety you said is golden gourmet. Normally what I do is we pickle these, put them in a big jar and have them as pickled onions. We do them in, I do them in malt vinegar for about a month, 6 weeks. Then I empty half of the liquid out, then put water in just to reduce the final strength of the onion, and find out that nice and crunchy and they'll last a long while. Anyway, let's get back to planting. These are the shallots, and I'll be planting them into this. It's a 15 cell tray. In there, that's just a multi-purpose compost with a little bit of vermiculite added just to get a bit of air into them. And so the soil is quite moist, so I'll just be popping them about halfway down the depth of the bulb, and they'll more or less look after themselves all over the winter. If we do have any bad frost regular, I'll be putting a bit of fleece over just to give them a bit of protection. The other advantage of planting these now into cell trays rather in the ground, I can see what has fired and what hasn't taken, and then when I do plant them out there'll be no spaces in the ground. When these do eventually get planted out, which I guess will be March, April time, I'll be planting them about a foot apart, and also probably a foot between rows. So that's them done. I'm not even going to water them in, the compost's damp, so we'll leave those, see how they go. So that's all the shallots planted, a total of 19. We'll leave these in the greenhouse and see how they fare over the winter. I've decided what I will do is pop a little propagator lid over the top, just to try and warm the soil up a little bit and fire them. But I will be quite aware that check them on a regular basis so the condensation doesn't build up inside there and rot the actual bulbs. Well, that just about brings this one to a close. I'd like to say thank you very much again to all my subscribers, and especially to the people that leave the comments. I do enjoy reading those and leaving responses back. And welcome all to the new subscribers as well. That's risen quite a lot just lately, so thank you very much for that, and I look forward to seeing your comments as well. We're approaching the end of November now. I think it's December in a day or two. Stuff on the allotment is getting less and less, so filming will be very sporadic, but during December I plan on joining the rest of the party, what seems to be growing now, in producing a annual review of the season, and that will be going up sometime in December. I'm not sure how long it'll be or what. If it's too long I'll split it and separate it within a week or so. There'll be other things on there which you probably haven't seen during the videos I put up in the season, and that'll be including records of the weather and stuff like that, because I do keep a record of temperatures and also rainfall on the site. So that's something else you might be interested in. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.